Hello, hello, hello. Hello, hello, hello. There it is. Welcome to another rendition of Kingdom's Evolution. Oh, Justin, will you do me a favor? Will you turn off the blinking lights?
Yep.
So I don't
Get distracted.
go into an ADD coma looking at blinking lights? Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Hope everybody's doing great. I want to make sure I hit start on my show because sometimes I don't do that. It's always a good thing to hit start when you begin something. It's like signing your name at the top of the test paper. Good way to start taking the test. Hope everybody's having a great day. Spring is over in St. Louis. We've hit a couple really hot weeks in St. Louis, so we're full into summertime in St. Louis. I didn't do a show on 4th of July, but let me tell you, 4th of July was awesome. Had family over. We had a great time. Fireworks in D.C. Watched them on TV. Unbelievable. Just unbelievable. Thank you, Donald J. Trump. So, this is for history's sake. Lost the first Finn sibling. My older sister, Christy, passed this world. She confirmed to me that she was a believer in Jesus Christ as Lord, her God. And so my dear sister, Christy, and we'll do a little bit of the show about my dear sister, Christy. She was the oldest of the clan, and she was like an only child, and we were her stepchildren. I don't know how else to describe it, but she had everything her way. She did everything her way. She got everything her way, and I was okay with that. And so were my brothers and sisters. She was a special type of person. I loved her very much, and we'll miss her. One of the beautiful things about my sister was just, I don't know how to describe it, but she was never wrong. On occasions, she was wrong. But on those occasions where she was terribly wrong, it was we all kind of looked aside. It was just, there wasn't a whole lot. There was no changing what my sister was going to do. No communicating with her that that path was a bad path. And like many of us who choose bad paths, it's very difficult for others to intervene until you come off the train and you realize that was the wrong track. And the same with my sister. Like she was on that track and there was no changing it. She was still a wonderful person, but as with many of us who enjoy alcohol, you get to a point where you marry the alcohol, and that is not a pleasant divorce. And so, not a pleasant divorce. It's one of those marriages where till death do you part. And if you're in that place with alcohol, the earlier you divorce that bitch, the better. Because make no mistake, she is a bitch. If you're having an affair with alcohol and you appreciate alcohol and you enjoy it for what it is, fantastic. But if you're marrying alcohol, that's not going to end well. Alcohol does not make a good spouse. Terrible spouse. A terrible spouse. Divorce it as soon as you can. So I will go back. Some of my favorite times with my sister was growing up, obviously, when we were kids. I will tell you that she always picked me up from school. She was the first of the Finns to have a driver's license. And so when my mom could tag team not having to pick us up after school, my sister Christy was the one large and in charge. And I just want to thank my sister Christy because before she went to college, She always picked me up from school. She never left me there. She didn't forget me, and I thank her very much for that. Her wedding was one for the ages and so much fun. So much fun. She married a great guy named Rick, and they had two beautiful children, Brian and Chris, both great kids, both great young men, and very what a life, what a life, Christy. And I was happy to be a part of it for 60 years, 65 years. All right, a couple other passes. This has not been a good week for people I know. Another gentleman named Jim Herman passed away this week. Jim was a great guy, even though he went to DeSmet, but he was a great guy, but more importantly, he was a great dad, and he had two great kids, Kate and Peter, and just a great family, beautiful wife, Maureen, great guy, good life, and kudos to a life well lived, Jim. Peace in heaven, joy in heaven. And then this morning I found out that another person passed away, and it's like I am getting old. Teresa Connolly. So you guys probably don't know who Teresa Connolly is, but many years ago, when I was in my 20s, I went to a tavern called McDermott's, and it had just changed its name to a place called Pat's Bar and Grill. It was McDermott's. It didn't just change its name. When I started going to Pat's Bar and Grill, it was actually Pat's Bar and Grill. It had been McDermott's in the 60s, and it has changed its name. I think it may have been the 60s when it changed its name back when Paul Jovanovich bought it with Teresa Connolly. When they bought it in the 60s. No, hold on. 60s, 80s, in the 80s. So I just started going to Pat's Bar and Grill when it had changed its name from McDermott's to Pat's Bar and Grill. Teresa and Paul bought Pat's Bar and Grill, bought McDermott's in the 80s, and changed it from McDermott's to the Pat Connolly Tavern, to Pat's Bar and Grill. And that's when I started going to Pat's Bar and Grill. And Teresa and Paul really ran it. Paul was a man's man, a great guy, just a great human being. It's fun to be around. Miss him terribly. Just considered him a great friend, even though he was a lot older than me. But I considered him a great friend. And he died of a brain aneurysm way too early. I think his son was like 9 years old, Joe. And just a terrible tragedy. Not unexpected, out of the blue, out of this world. So, anyway, that was Pat's Bar and Grill. And that was a great place. Teresa was his wife, and they ran it. Great place to go. Great hangout. Great neighborhood place to go. Everybody knew everybody. Regular customers, fried chicken, everything was fried. It's not a heart-friendly restaurant. But Teresa Connolly has passed this world. So if I'm the bearer of that, I'm sorry. But Teresa had some grandbabies, and Teresa really lived for those grandbabies. She really did. And God bless her, because she just turned it around. I think there was a while there where she was very sad, and those grandbabies just turned her life around, and she became a much happier person with those grandbabies. And I think she helped Joe and his wife with those grandbabies a lot, and I think she loved doing it. All right, gosh, this is like the death hour. It's like, wow, who else is gonna die? Well, that's three of them. So that's probably for a little while we have a break in the action. Everybody usually say it happens in threes. That's my sister, Jim Herman, and Teresa Connolly. And prayers for all of them, that they may dance in the light of the eternal joy immediately, that they wore the shoes and they love the Christ. We're going to talk a little bit about now. I got on the Vic Porcelli show just for a second this week. And Ken and Vic were kind enough. And if you don't listen to the Vic Porcelli show, you're missing the best radio on air right now. 101.9. It's on from 9 o'clock in the morning till 12 o'clock every day, Monday through Friday. And Vic keeps the show moving, has great guests on, and Vic and Ken do a great job of entertaining and making the time go quickly. So if you've got FM on your dial, which everybody does, 101.9, the Vic Porcelli show. So the title of my show today is Democrat Jihad. And we're going to talk about all the ways that the Democrat Party is committing jihad against the American people. And jihad is the act of through lying, through falsehoods, but it is the act of imposing your will upon other people. I mean, in other words, like right now we live in a constitutional republic. So that means your vote, my vote, our votes matter. We elect representatives. But even with those representatives, we have a basic law that protects us. Like, it doesn't matter who you get elected, we have laws that protect us from majority rule. Like, the majority can't say we're Muslim, and you absolutely have to follow Muslim law. It is not the rule of majority. It is a constitutional republic, which means we have certain inalienable rights, which even if Muslims take over, they're not supposed to be able to change those inalienable rights. So even if you are a Muslim and you live in a Muslim community in America, the Constitution provides you rights and freedoms which supersede Islam. Democrats, the Democrat Jihad, doesn't believe that. They do not believe that. They believe the rights of the commune, of the many, overrule any rights given to you by the Constitution. What the Democrats and the Islamists are doing is using our constitutional republic, our Constitution, freedom of speech, to destroy our Constitution. And they're doing it through the Islamists will do it through taqiyya, lying about what Islam is, as they kill, rape, and conquer. And Democrats are basically doing the same thing. They're lying about what the Democrat Party is about. So I just wanted to give you some examples, and I wrote a few of them down, about what Democrat Jihad looks like. Well, Democrat Jihad looks like the assassination of Charlie Kirk, where a jihadist, in this case he happened to be a member of the LGBTQ plus community, and I don't know what the pride is in not in your sexuality. I don't get it. Like, if you have sex with somebody, so you have sex with somebody, like, what is that to be proud of? Who cares? So the Democrat Jihad is Charlie Kirk. The Democrat Jihad is abortion. The Democrat Jihad is the open borders that they let all the illegals into our country, the invaders, with 13,000 murderers, convicted murderers they let into our country. That's jihad. They let in 13,000 people that were known killers. That's jihad, baby. 13,000, just to do the math, 13,000 murderers allowed into our country by the Democrats, by Joe Biden, by the Democrat Party, divided by 50 states, is, let's see, that's 26. That's 260 murderers allowed into every state in our country. 260 people that are known killers released into your state. So for St. Louis, that would probably be, so 260 in Missouri, so that would say, let's just say 100 murderers. They released 100 murderers into the St. Louis community, 100 into Kansas City, 20 into Springfield, 20 into Rolla, 20 into Cape Girardeau. Just released them into our. You don't think that's jihad? You don't think they're jihadis releasing all these murderers into our community? And who did it? The Democrat Party. Anybody that calls themselves a Democrat right now is a jihadi. They're the party of jihad, and their jihad is to destroy our constitutional republic. And they're doing it through assassinations, like they did on Kirk. They're doing it through abortion, killing our future children. And telling our children. So abortion kills two birds with one stone, right? So it kills the children that never get a chance to live, but it also tells the children that do not get aborted, the children in our schools, that they were a choice. They're not a blessing, but that we as in Missouri believe that killing them, taking away every chance they had at breathing and living, was our choice, was their mother's choice, was their doctor's choice, was that nurse's choice, was that clinic's choice. That their entire life was our choice. Not God's, not a miracle of life, but a choice. So it really attacks a child's psyche on two fronts. One, killing it, and two, telling that child that they were a choice. The illegal immigration, the jihad of the Democrat fraud in California, Michigan, Ohio, anywhere where large illegal populations, immigrant and Democrat populations they defraud the future, they steal the future out of the mouths of children, out of the mouths of the sick, out of the mouths of the dying. That's jihad. 100% Democrat jihad. Islam. So they bring in one of the large segments that the Democrats import into our country is Islam. Well, Islam is the party, is the cult of jihad. So they're bringing in Islam to do their dirty work. The Palestinian hate the Jews. So the Democrats are bringing in Islam to do their dirty work, their killing. And I'm going to get to the point of this here in a minute, because I want you to understand where we're going with the Democrat socialists, and why we're so close to a tipping point, and what we have to do to stop this. The jihad of releasing rapists and murderers, no bail. That's jihad. When you let people that kill, rape, and murder out of jail, and you don't charge them, you give them ridiculous sentences, or you just let them out with no bail. 23 people that have 23 been arrested 50 times, and they let them back out. Well, at some point in time, they're going to kill somebody. And Democrats know that. It's Democrat jihad. And then Democrat jihad certifying truck drivers that can't speak English. They can't speak English, but you're going to give them, tons of steel at 60, 70, 80 miles an hour to drive along our roads and kill us. So, as of yet, that I'm aware of, the jihadis that drive these trucks haven't driven it through a large gathering of Americans, like 4th of July or Easter or Christmas block celebration. I think in Minnesota they ran through Grannies for Christmas. A Democrat jihadi killed a bunch of grandmothers in, I believe it was Minnesota, where they drove their car through a parade. But wait till they drive a semi through a parade. Wait till these Democrat jihadis drive a semi through a parade. These are all Democrat jihads. This is all part of the Democrat jihad. To hate, to make us hate each other so much so that we kill each other. Then you're a jihadi. Then you're a Democrat jihadi. The reason I bring this up is because there's a tipping point, historically, for socialists, for Democrat socialists, to actually start and successfully sustain a civil war, one of a communist revolution, and that is 10%. Once communists reach 10%, and what you have to understand about a communist is a communist believes the ends justify the means. So a communist believes in abortion because the woman has the power, the doctor has the power, the nurse has the power, and they can kill. They can kill that baby. So what does that make them? That makes them killers. What do communists need 10% of the population? In our case in America, that's 30 million. What do they need 10% of the population willing to do? They need 10% of the population being willing to kill. That's it. 10%. 10% of the population. So if you go back through the polls, I think you'll find they're getting close. If you were to go through the Democrat pollsters and find how many of them think the Charlie Kirk assassination was justified, how many Democrats feel like killing Trump is justifiable? I think you'll find, we're probably 5 to 7% of the population, of American population. So probably 25% of Democrats, and let's just say they're half the population, but 25% of the Democrats think it's okay to kill Trump. 25% of Democrats think it was okay to kill Charlie Kirk for believing in freedom and Jesus Christ. So when you get to 25% of 50%, you're probably my math isn't great, but let's see, 1/2 times 1/4 is 1/8. 8 will go into 1.0, 0.1. Oh shit! That's 12% of the population. So if 25% of the Democrats think it's okay to kill Donald Trump, and Democrats are 1/2 the population, we're already at 12% of the population. Now, 12% of the population think it's okay to kill. Okay. So let's just say it's 12%. Include Muslims, include Islam, Democrats. 12% of the population today in America think killing somebody through assassination or through mass murder. 12% of the population think it's okay to kill somebody for the Democrat cause or for the Islamic cause. 12%. Now, here's the kicker. Here's where we are. How many of those 12% that think it's okay to kill Donald J. Trump, that think it's okay to kill Charlie Kirk, how many of them are cold-blooded killers? How many of them are actually willing to go kill somebody to bring in the Democrat Socialist Revolution? What do you think the population is in New York of Muslims and Democrats that are willing to kill? I'm guessing it's over 12%. I'm guessing 20-25% of the people in New York, the Democrat Socialists, are willing to actually kill somebody that doesn't agree with them. When you get to 20-25%, you were at active war. because a society cannot survive 20-25% of its population willing to kill the other people in the population. Because here's the problem. If 20-25% of the Democrats and the Muslims are willing to kill Christians, who's going to stop them? Christians don't believe that Republicans, Christians, number one, don't believe that you have the right to kill somebody to shut them up. We don't have the right to kill Muslims for being Islamic. We don't believe that. We don't believe that in order for them, it's our ability and right and God-given calling to kill Muslims for Jesus Christ. It's not who our God is. Ours is a loving God. So, number one, we all want to go to heaven. We want to go to heaven, so we don't want to kill somebody because we know killing is wrong. Islam teaches that killing is okay. Democrats are programming their children, our children, their followers, to believe that killing is okay. We don't believe it's okay. So what happens when this 10% of the population starts killing at will people that don't agree with them, people that aren't communists, aka MAGA, people that aren't Muslim, aka Christians and Jews? What happens when their jihadis start actively killing people that they don't agree with? Who stops them? Who stops them? It's not going to be the Christians, because the Christians don't believe in killing. So who's going to stop them? The government? Well, in New York, the mayor of New York is a jihadi. He's a Muslim. So not only does he think it's okay to kill Christians and Jews, he encourages it. And he's a communist. So he not only wants to kill the Christians and Jews because of their faith, he wants to take their shit. He wants to take their buildings, their businesses. And probably half of New York supports these unconstitutional moves by this jihadi. So half the people, probably 20-25% of New Yorkers are all in on the jihadi communist Islam train. And, you know, there's probably 100,000 people in New York, and my guess would be that that's on the low side. But between the people, the Democrat jihadis let out of jail, between the Democrat jihadis that were let in illegally, that are in New York illegally, and the people that are committing fraud, financially fraud, and making a lot of money doing it and don't want it to stop, the Islamists that are in New York that believe they're killing for Allah, killing for their God, I'm guessing you've got 20-25% of the population in New York that's willing to kill. So the question now becomes, is it too late? You know, is it too late? Have we already allowed too great a percentage of America's population to be willing to kill for us to stop what's about to happen? And the answer is, I don't know. I don't have an answer for that. I don't have an answer. I know in Russia it was 10% of the population was communists and were willing to kill, and they killed a lot of people. They killed a lot of people. And don't think for a minute that the people that they killed, I mean, Russia was not disarmed when the communists took over. I mean, the communists killed armed people. The oligarchy, the army. I mean, these were not unarmed people that they killed. So it's not like an organized killers of Islam and organized killers from the Democrat Party aren't going to be able to sustain, like in New York. Let's take New York. They could sustain a viable murderous takeover of New York. Like, if Trump went in to try to depose Mamdani, okay? Trump came in and said, Mamdani is illegal. We will not have jihadis, non-constitutional communists running our government. And he went in for a federal takeover of New York City. Do you think that would be non-bloody? Do you think Mamdani would go willingly? Do you think the Muslims in New York would allow this to happen without bloodshed? Do you think the communists in New York would allow this to happen without bloodshed? So would it be, and it wouldn't just be their blood, right? It would be the blood of our soldiers, of our National Guard. And also keep in mind, the governor of New York is a communist, Hochul. So the governor of New York, if the federal government tried to remove Mamdani from power, it is possible that the governor of New York would send in the National Guard or state police to protect Mamdani. So we may already be at the point where violent civil war is upon us. We just haven't decided. We just haven't, and when I say we, the constitutional Americans that believe in our republic have not decided yet to pick up the mantle of warfare. The warfare is already being waged against our country through Islam, through illegals, through abortion, through assassinations, through releasing rapists and murderers back onto the street. The war is already taking place against the constitutional republic. The question is, when do we pick up the mantle and fight back? When do we pick up the mantle and say, okay, we accept the fact that we're at war and we're going to fight back? And that has to be through our government. That has to be through Donald J. Trump. That has to be through the military. Because as Christians, we can't become terrorists. We won't become terrorists. So the question becomes, when is our government, our duly elected government, going to pick up the mantle and fight these treasonous factions that wish to destroy our republic? And it's a great question. It's a tough question to answer. I don't have an answer for it. But I can tell you that if you're still calling yourself a Democrat, you are the party of jihad. You are the party of destruction. You are the party of death. And as such, you are uncivil. You are unworthy of your citizenship in the greatest republic the world has ever known. You're unworthy of it. You have betrayed it. You have betrayed it with White Hoods, the Southern Poverty Law Center, with lawfare, with everything, with releasing these wicked criminals back out on the streets to murder and rape us. You have relinquished your right to tell us anything about good and evil. You've relinquished it. You've chosen the side of Satan. You've chosen the side of evil, and just either drop out of the voting pool, just stay out of the battle, because you're the ones that empowered. You are the ones that empowered these jihadists to come and kill and rape us. You did it. And I'm nice to everybody. I love everybody. I believe we're all God's children. But make no mistake, that doesn't mean I don't think that your policies, your beliefs, your political support for the Democrat Party is not bringing hell to earth. That I'm not looking at you thinking you and your political idiocy is bringing hell to my family. I'll smile and I'll love you, but make no mistake, your beliefs in abortion, your beliefs in criminal illegal aliens, your beliefs in destroying our republic with Islam is causing us untold pain and suffering, and your politics are horrific. And we can talk politics if you want, but you won't want to. You won't want to because you identify as your politics. There was a great Facebook post that I shared about why, I've had many shows where we've talked about, what can we do to break through? It's like what hammer can we use? What instrument can we use to get into this bubble of insanity that normal, rational, loving human beings want to kill babies, want to import illegal immigrant 13,000 murderers into our what is the bubble that tells them that that's okay, that's a good idea, that they should fight for that they should give them money? What is it in that bubble that makes that bubble so insane that they think cow farts are causing global warming? They think Hunter Biden's laptop is Russian disinformation. They think President Trump was a Russian traitor. They think Barack Hussein Obama was a great president, even though they have evidence that he completely betrayed his oath of office and undermined President Trump. Even though they have all the evidence showing that he empowered the FBI, the DOJ, CIA to betray our country, to betray our election, to betray our republic, but they still think Barack Hussein Obama is a good guy. That is a bubble, guys. That is a bubble that is impenetrable. And there was on my Facebook, I put it out there, but there's a gentleman that explains why it's impenetrable. And it's because it's not their belief. It's not their faith. What they've been able to do in this PSYOP with Democrats is they have made it their identity. It's who they are. They're not a Christian. They're not a loving person. They are a Democrat. And it's their identity to kill babies. It's their identity. It's their identity to protect illegals. It's their identity. And so when you question all the thousands of people that have been murdered and raped by illegals, but they focus on an illegal alien that gets shot and killed by ICE, or they focus on a protester that gets shot and killed by ICE when they try to run him over with a car, or an illegal a protester that's got a gun and gets shot and killed. 3 people. Forget the thousands and thousands murdered and raped by illegals. Their identity is ICE is bad, illegals good, killing babies good, forcing vaccines, unsafe vaccines on babies good, suffering of autism, inconsequential. Suffering of rape and murder, it bounces off the bubble. It bounces off their bubble because it's not part of their identity. And when you actually get into their identity, they can't. You're not questioning whether or not abortion is murder. You're questioning whether or not they're a murderer. You're questioning whether or not they're cruel to illegal immigrants. Right? You see where it's going? They're empathites. They've chosen their side of empathy with the young pregnant woman, not the child that's never going to have a chance to live. And that's their identity. They've chosen their empathy with the illegal immigrant, not with the victim of the rape and murder by an illegal immigrant. So you're questioning their identity. And when you question their identity, they can't have a conversation with you because now you've questioned their identity. And they can't question their identity. So they attack. They become a jihadi. So since they won't have a conversation with you like Charlie Kirk, they'll just kill you. What I propose and what I have proposed is that President Trump invoke the Insurrection Act. And just like we did in the Civil War, because we are at civil war. Go to military tribunals, because we cannot have trials of our peers anymore, because a Democrat is no longer my peer. A Democrat is a jihadi. So why would I think that I, as a Christian that believes in the republic that is the United States of America, why would I believe that a Democrat jihadi is going to be my peer on a trial? They're not. They're not. They're going to identify as a jihadi, a Democrat jihadi, and they're going to make their decision not on the facts of the case, not on what is truth, but they're going to make their case, they're going to make their decision based on their identity. And their identity isn't as an American free human being. Their identity is as a Democrat. Their identity is as a Muslim. So what I believe should happen is Trump should invoke the Insurrection Act, and that he should outlaw cults that are treasonous to the U.S. Constitution. Islam being one of them, the Democrat Party being one of them, abortionists being one of them. He should suspend the federal licenses granted to CBS, NBC, ABC. Stop the psyop that is our national media, that hates our country, that wants our country destroyed. Stop the psyop. Don't take away their license. You can't stop them being online. You can't stop cable. You can't stop things. But you can withdraw federal licenses for PBS, CNN, and you can shoot a warning across the bow of Google, Yahoo, Reuters, of all these people that print and promote lies. The lies that Islam is a religion of the peace. The lies that electric power or sun power, solar power is going to replace petrol. It's not. That petrol is bad. It's not. But until our government, and it's got to be our government, until our president invokes the Insurrection Act, and we remove the jihadis and the jihadi mentality and the jihadi identity out of our schools, out of our communications, until we remove that jihadi mentality that killing is okay, until we remove that and get back to a Christian nation, we are in deep shit. And don't think for a minute that we're not in deep shit. Don't think for a minute just because somebody isn't shooting me for saying that Islam is a cult of death, lies, rape, misogyny. Just because someone just is actively shooting me right now doesn't mean that their cult doesn't tell them they can shoot me, that they should shoot me for just saying that. Their prophet raped a 12-year-old girl. And she may have been 10. I forget whether it was 10 or 12. But he married her at 6, and he raped her at either 10. Does it matter whether he raped her at 10 or 12? Is a 10 or 12-year-old girl able to give consent to have sex? No, they're not. They're not. It's rape. They're still doing it 1,600 years later. It's still okay in Islam to rape a 10 or 12-year-old girl. Do you understand? It's a cult of misogyny, of domination, of lies, of death. And if you don't agree with it, you say something bad about it, they can kill you. As a matter of fact, they're supposed to kill you because that's what Allah says. That's what their book tells them to do. We don't want that in America. We don't need it in America. Get it out. Get the Quran out of America. Get these followers out of America. Get them out. We don't need it. We have laws in the Constitution of the Republic about what is viable. We'll vote for we vote for elected leaders to choose what those laws will be, and then we abide by them. If we don't stand together shortly, that number, that 10, 12%, is going to go to 15. It's going to go to 20. It's going to go to 25%. Because the forces, the Democrat and Muslim forces that are encouraging this are teaching your children that this is normal, that this is okay, that America is bad, the Constitution is bad, and that Islam is good. Islam is good. Democrat principles of protecting illegals is good. ICE is bad. This PSYOP goes on for another 5 years. Guess what we are? We're dead. Our society is dead. Taking other people's property through communism is going to win the day unless we root it out. We don't have to root it out by killing anybody. We just root it out by saying it's unconstitutional. We're not going to have parties that espouse it. We're going to disband those parties. They're not going to legally be able to exist. Disperse. Disperse. Cease and desist. Until we get, and until our education system comes back, and we're able to give a Judeo-Christian education of loving America back to our children, military tribunals should be the rule of the day. Should be the rule of the day. Here's the evidence. Guilty or innocent. I'm okay with it. I'm okay with giving up jury by peers. Right now, today, I'm okay with it. Because I'll be honest with you. Who are my peers? Who are they? Who's going to be sitting on that jury? Is it going to be a Muslim? Because if it's a Muslim, I'm guilty. Because I'm a Christian. They're not going to go by the facts of the case. They're going to go by whether or not I'm a Muslim. And if it's a Muslim sitting on a jury and a Muslim kills me, do you think that Muslim's going to find them guilty of killing me? They were just doing what their religion tells them to do, what their cult tells them to do. Kill those who speak ill of Muhammad. I just did. Muhammad raped a 10-year-old girl. Do you think a Muslim doesn't think they have the right to kill me? Is that the country you want to live in? That societies, a group of people, Democrats, Muslims, think they have the right to kill you because you say something that they don't like? Or they'll release their jihadis out of prison, their murderers and rapists out of prison, so they can murder and rape again? Is that the world you want to live in? God, I hope not. Because it's not the world I want to live in. And I'm begging Trump to invoke the Insurrection Act, to go to military tribunals, suspend the federal communications licenses of CBS, NBC, ABC, and maybe even Fox News, maybe even Fox. Fox is terrible. And I'll end with this. The worst programming, the worst PSYOP, the worst brainwashing that is going on with you in your world every day is your local news. Your local news, the sports, the weather, has been lying to you for 50 years about what's going on in your country. They lie to you about Islam. They lie to you about what the Democrat Party is. They lie to you about what communism is. They don't tell you the truth about your great heritage of freedom, that we're the first country in millennia, ever, to give freedom to the individual. They don't tell you the truth about capitalism, that capitalism is the free choice of what to do with your money, and that it's created untold wealth and jobs that no other country on the earth has ever seen before. That's capitalism. That's freedom. Is it perfect? Nothing's perfect. Nothing is perfect. There's no perfection till we get to heaven. Then there's perfection. Then there's joy. Then there's love. Until then, it's a scrapper, guys. It's a scrapper. Do the best you can. Be good. But it's a scrapper until we get there. It's a scrapper. And it's not easy. I mean, it is not easy. It is not easy. Captain your ship. Captain your ship. Jesus is your co-pilot, but captain your ship. Let's see, we've got a few more minutes. I've got 8 more minutes. I've got 7 more minutes. What shall we end the show with? Well, let's look at the future. The World Cup has been a lot of fun. The World Cup soccer has been a lot of fun. This is 2026, and we are in the round of 8 in World Cup. England, I think, is playing Norway. We've got just some great games coming up. England's playing. Somebody's playing Belgium. I hope Belgium loses terribly. I hope they get squashed because it'll prove just how poorly we played. Oh, man, did we lay a stinker. So the U.S. soccer team did great through a couple of rounds of soccer. They did well. But they choked so badly against Belgium. It was embarrassing. It was embarrassing for us as a country. It was almost like we threw a bunch of 5-year-olds on the field to play soccer against a bunch of adults. It was embarrassing. I guess I'm hoping for Argentina to win. Argentina or Norway. I can root for Argentina or Norway. Don't want Belgium to win. Don't really want. I guess I could root for England, but England's so weak right now. I don't know. The English, if I'll say this, if it would help little English girls from being raped by Muslims that England won the World Cup, then I'm rooting for the World Cup, for England to win the World Cup. Because if that would bring England back to the Christ and protect their little girls, I'd be all for England winning the World Cup. Give them back some pride and let them defeat Islam in their country. I'd be for it. I think it's going to take more than a World Cup to do that. That's my show. I don't really have a whole lot else to say. I hope everybody's doing great. Prayer for all those that have passed: Teresa Connolly, Jim Herman, and my beautiful sister Christine Finn Purcell. Prayers for all those that love them. And I guess that's how we'll end the show. We'll end the show with a prayer. The Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. Holy Mary, Mother of God, full of grace, the Lord is with thee. Holy Mary, Mother of God, blessed art thou amongst women. Blessed is the fruit of thy womb, Jesus. Holy Mary, Mother of God, pray for us sinners now and at the hour of our death. Amen. And I will leave you with this. If you have any doubt that Jesus Christ is God, think about this. Mary was the only human being that knew who the Father, without a doubt, Mary knew who the Father of Jesus Christ was. Right? Mary knew who the Father of Jesus Christ was. When Jesus started saying he was God, Mary could have told him that he wasn't. But Mary couldn't tell him that he wasn't. You know why? Because Jesus is God. Amen, brothers and sisters. Have a great weekend. I guess I'm kind of rooting for Argentina. Great Christian country. All right, everybody. We'll finish this off with some jams, man.